Hi everyone, my name is Sonali Rodrigo. I am the Senior Financial Advisor at Tomorrow Financial Solutions. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I talked to you guys about what are some of the things you can do to alleviate the financial stress that a lot of you are under because of the COVID-19 situation. I did touch on a little bit about the government measure that's been introduced about accessing money from your superannuation. So today, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit more and delve deeper into that subject to see what are some of the things you need to be mindful of if you are thinking of accessing money from super. So let's get straight into it. Now, one of the first things you need to remember today is if you are thinking of accessing money from super, previously it used to be done under very strict regulations and criteria, whereas now the government has made measures to relax some of these criteria so that a lot more people can access the money. So as of now, if you are in financial stress and difficulty, you can access $10,000 before the end of this financial year, that is before the 30th of June, and another $10,000 after 1st of July 2020 if you are in distress and you need access to further funds to be able to put food on the table essentially. Now, the thing to remember here is you should be doing this only if you are in a really difficult financial position and not to be taken lightly. Why? Because super is meant to be for your long-term retirement. So it's meant to be sitting in your superannuation fund, getting access to compounding returns and in a beneficially taxed environment and meant to provide benefits for your retirement. So if you access this money now, you need to remember that your end super balance when you retire is going to be impacted negatively. So as a general rule of thumb, if you are a younger person, say you are in your 30s and you take $1,000 out of your super now, it's going to have about a $4,500 to $5,000 of an impact to the end balance of your superannuation. So think about it. If you took $10,000 out now, that would mean a $50,000 reduction in your super balance at the time you retire. If you take $20,000, that would mean about a $100,000 reduction. Now, think about if you were part of a couple and you each took $20,000 out. So that would mean your super balance at the time you both retire would be reduced by about $200,000. As you can see, the numbers add up a lot. So you need to think twice before you go running to access money from super. The second thing you need to think about is a lot of people are invested within their super fund in balanced or growth options. Now, this means that more than likely, more than 50 to 70% of your assets are in the share market, either locally or internationally, or a mix of both. So as we all know, over the past couple of months, share markets have gone down a lot. So that means your balances have been impacted because of this reduction in the share prices. So if you were to sell out and make a withdrawal from your superannuation now, you are selling out of your assets at the worst possible time. So on top of the fact that you're taking money out that was meant to be for your retirement, you're also accessing and selling assets at the worst possible time, thereby crystallizing losses. So your super balances are going to have a double whammy. So please think twice. Unless you really need to, you really shouldn't be taking money out of super right now. Another thing to think about is a lot of clients tell me that they have insurance within their superannuation. Now, I don't know if a lot of you guys know, the government introduced regulations that said if your super balance was less than $6,000, any insurance you had to opt in. So you had to contact the super fund and say that you wanted to keep that insurance. If you didn't do that, the super funds are required to cancel that insurance automatically. So think about this. If you had $25,000, for example, in your super and you took $20,000 out, your super balance would then be $5,000. Now this would mean you would fall under the new government regulations where the super fund needs to cancel the insurance that you hold. So if you don't contact the super fund and opt in to keep that insurance going, that insurance will automatically get cancelled and you might not even know. Now the super fund is required to notify you, but obviously if you don't check your mail regularly or don't pay attention, it can mean that inadvertently the insurance you thought you had would have got cancelled. So please be careful. If you're taking money out, check what the super balance would end up being, and if it is going to be below $6,000, please make sure you contact the super fund and make sure you opt in to keep the insurance, because otherwise getting insurance back once it gets cancelled can be a bit of a hassle. So I hope I have given you some food for thought to think about before you go running to your super fund and trying to access money. So until I see you next time, stay safe.